Thank you guys for joining me for this read. Let's go ahead and see what message we have for you today from the tarot cards on the universe. This is the deck I'm getting pulled to, so we're not going to do the letters or the numbers for this read. I'm not feeling pulled to do them. So let's see what message comes forward. What does the collective need to hear? Resourcefulness, benefactor. Give me a few more here. Jeweled web. Connectivity. Everything happens for a reason. Everything is interconnected. Give me more clarity on this read. Okay. As was in, this was kind of the vibe I was getting with the first two cards. I do feel like somebody... It's like somebody keeps going to someone else for help. Keep going to someone for help. Somebody to sort of fix things. Somebody to lean on. They kind of use them as a resource instead of dealing with stuff themselves. I feel like this person keeps running into issues in their life. One thing or another, things aren't working out. Some sort of a trouble. They're coming to these troubles for a reason. I mean, one is part of their choices. That's their choices that are leading it to them. I also feel something bigger. This is like the universe trying to teach them to grow up. This is the universe trying to give this person a wake-up call, like this vanishing mirror. And to sort of let go of their ego, to be able to look at themselves in a very honest way, and to see that there are things that they need to change about themselves. But they haven't been doing that because they haven't been left to be responsible for stuff. I keep feeling like there's someone they keep going to and sort of sloughing responsibility off on. Somebody like this, that this benefactor card represents. Person gets involved with some pretty crazy romances too. I feel like they get involved with some crazy people. And then they get all sorts of crap or hurt feelings or whatever the hell it is. And then they come back to one other person to sort of clean things up for them. Or this is the place they crash when the other crap doesn't work out. Closing door. Drifter. Yeah. This person's not taking responsibility for their life. They're not taking responsibility for their choices. They're not taking responsibility for the direction that things are headed. I keep feeling like this benefactor needs to close their door. Close their door. It's no longer open to you. I'm not going to help you fix everything anymore. I'm not going to keep putting everything right, giving you a place to crash, da-da-da-da-da-da. These are your choices, and you need to take responsibility for the consequences that come along with them. Like this person needs to do some growing up. So whoever our benefactor is, I think their heart is in the right place. I think there's somebody who's a giver, somebody who likes to help. I feel like they're putting themselves in a bad spot and they're putting themselves out too much. Girl. Yeah. As they're giving too much of themselves to this person. Always trying to fix this person's problems. Always trying to help them out. And this person is just using them like a resource. I'm just going to go hide out at your place. I'm going to use up all of your resources, your money, your food, your whatever, and not contribute anything. And then when I find myself another woodwife, because I do feel that speaks to other energies, karmics, dysfunctional relationships, it's like I'm going to be gone and I'm going that way again. And then when that doesn't work out, I'll be back because I know you'll always be here and you'll always help me and you'll always wipe my butt for me. And exactly, the fates, and I was feeling this in this jeweled web. These karmics are coming to them for a reason. These dysfunctional towers are coming to them for a reason. This is the thing that's supposed to be their wake-up call. But as long as they have somebody they can lean on, they're just not getting it together. They need to be looking further into the future. They need to start planning for the future, taking responsibility for their actions. I'm really seeing how much control they have about how their life goes. So it's like if you want a better life, you need to make better choices, right? If this is your goal over here, you need to actively start making choices to work towards it because they're not doing that. They're just sort of, it's like drifter. It's experiencing life as it comes. We're not making plans for the future. We're not building for stability. We're just here, there, whatever feels good at the moment because we always have this thing to fall back on. We never have to worry about not having somewhere to live. We don't have to worry about not having money or not having food because we got somebody over here who we're just going to show up on their doorstep. We're going to dump all our troubles on them and we're going to sponge off of them. But they're running somebody into this empty well. This benefactor is this empty well. Like, they just keep giving and giving and giving until they don't have a lot themselves. You know, it's too much. It's too much giving. I'm gonna grab a few more here. Magician's sword. Moon maiden. Our benefactor needs to, so I keep feeling like, not be afraid of cutting ties here. There's something about whoever this energy is who keeps coming back to them, that they're afraid to cut ties and they're afraid to lose connection with whoever this person is. But this person is a destructive connection to them. This person takes them for granted. This person does not contribute. This is not a reciprocal relationship. Our benefactor needs to start putting themselves forward. Ooh. And I got a very interesting vibe with this Watcher's card. Sometimes I feel like this is ancestors watching over us, trying to tell us things through intuition. This ties into the fates. This ties into Jeweled Web. This ties into this person experiencing tower after tower after tower. This is a higher force that is trying to teach them a lesson to grow up. Trying to teach them, grow up. You can't just do what feels good all the time. You have to be responsible. You have to start looking toward the future. You have to build stability. That these are important things. This is because I get in this joyful muse, somebody just don't care. Somebody just don't care. They're just going to do whatever feels good. They've never had to be responsible for themselves before. Never had to take responsibility for their actions, for the consequences of their actions. They just go hide somewhere else. They need this to happen. They need there to be a door closing with whoever the benefactor is, so that they get left holding their own bag and then having to figure out on their own how to deal with it as part of their growing up process. Like I said, the universe is trying to bring it around. Galactic mushroom. Everything happens for a reason. So all those towers they're experiencing, it all happens for a reason. Perfect storm, same thing. Lost in space, me talks, yeah. This person needs to grow up. They need to find direction. They need to get focused in their life. And whoever our benefactor is, they need to detox from this person's energy. They need to start taking care of themselves and not giving so much of themselves to other energies that they wind up completely depleted. Because they're getting taken advantage of. Their kindness is being mistaken for weakness and is being abused. Their kind energy. So they need to start sort of taking that back and looking after their own needs and protecting themselves from whoever this energy is. Because this energy, until they grow up, until they ascend, they're just a drain. I know that doesn't sound very nice, but it is. They're a drain on this, on whoever our benefactor is. I need a deck of tarot cards to go with this read. This is the one I get pulled to for your tarot read. So let's go ahead and get started. So tarot, can you give me more clarification on this situation? We got a big stack wanting to pop out. Oh, the 10 of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. In this 10 of Wands, I do see a journey. I do see an ending. I do see somebody, I gotta say it, somebody sent packing. I do feel like this is the best thing that our benefactor can do for themselves, is to send this other energy packing. This other energy, like I said, they need this as a chance to grow. This isn't being mean. This isn't being cruel. This is the only way that this person is going to learn to grow up. Is they're being put in situations, well, they're putting themselves in situations where they're receiving tower after tower after tower with all these karmics, all these negative situations. They need to be left holding the bag for all of the responsibilities and have to figure their own life out to see just how much there is to lose when you make these poor choices, to stop them from making the poor choices to begin with. So they haven't had to do that. I also feel like it will help our benefactor to grow in some ways too, in being able to establish boundaries with the people around them. And not just whoever this one is, if this is a romance or whatever this is, but in all relationships, family, friends, coworkers, acquaintances, just all around being able to set boundaries. Because I feel like this person comes to them with their woes. I'm afraid, I got nowhere to go, I got this, I got that. They're going to have to learn how to be their own white knight and stand up for themselves and to, well, really make choices to prevent this situation from ever happening again to begin with. Because they keep doing it, and then after the fact, they, come back all feeling bad. No, and I'm in this rough spot. Well, you just shouldn't have done it to begin with. And unless and until they have to learn that harsh lesson and be left holding the responsibility for those consequences, they're just going to keep doing it. They're just going to keep doing it because they know our benefactor will keep cleaning things up for them. This is a truth, a very harsh truth, that this person has to learn to be able to do some growing up, because they are depleting the benefactor. Whoever that benefactor is, they are just totally empty well. Absolutely bleeding them dry, and they leave them with a broken heart. Every time they go piss off to another karmic and they go take up over there, it leaves our benefactor with a broken heart and with worry and with anxiety, and they never really get a chance to heal and detach because they're not detaching and they're not closing that door. That door needs to get closed, and our benefactor needs to start putting themselves first. The Six of Wands, start putting themselves first, recognizing their own beautiful qualities, recognizing that if they're going to give to someone, it has to be to somebody who's going to give in return, right? It needs to be reciprocal, not just one-sided. This is a wisdom that our benefactor needs to learn in this situation too. Because I think he's coming back. Whoever this person is, they're coming back like the Knight of Cups. Coming back looking for an opening. I don't know if this is romance, but they're going to be coming back to our benefactor quite quickly if they haven't already, looking for another opening, looking for another way in, looking for money, looking for a place to crash, looking to hide from their karma, from their consequences. This is an opportunity, and I do feel our benefactor coming forward in this Queen of Cups. This is an opportunity for our Queen of Cups to find that balance. To find that balance by setting her boundaries and by severing ties with this person. This Knight of Cups, now I feel like this Knight of Cups is this energy who just drifts around from situation to situation. This Knight of Cups needs to be met with a closed door so that they have to figure it out themselves. This is part of their path. This is something that they need to do. And our Queen of Cups needs to do this for themselves too, so that they can set those boundaries. They can allow themselves to heal from the situation properly and to not get themselves into these cycles again. They need to find that wisdom and put themselves first and recognize their self-worth, and that they're not giving to people who don't give back. How important that reciprocal kind of energy is in any relationship, whether it's romance, it's friendship, it's family, it's co-worker, it's wherever it is. It needs to always be reciprocal and not one-sided. Five of Cups. I know that's not an easy choice, because whoever our Queen of Cups is, they have a deep emotional investment in the Knight of Cups. Very deep. And this is why they keep allowing that person to come back. Is why they keep the door open and to let it come forward. This is actually a growing situation for both people. This is a growing situation for our Queen of Cups and being able to find empowerment and being able to find that self-worth and not allow anyone to take advantage of them. And it's a growing opportunity for our Knight of Cups to do some real growing up. This person has to do some real growing up and figuring out that if you don't want to get stuck in these situations, you shouldn't do it to begin with. Don't put yourself in that situation. That person needs somewhere to crash and has nowhere to crash. It's because they didn't go out and actively make sure they had good housing. It's because if this person has no money, it's because they chose not to go out and earn it. Time to change. It is time to change. It is time for our Knight of Cups to do some growing up, to quit getting involved with whoever these karmics are, and to start getting real about life. The Moon card. That Seven of Wands is establishing boundaries to find balance. And I'm going to tell you, our Queen of Cups, if our Queen of Cups can do this for herself, I can feel the energies and to start to see into this person's future. And I do see this leads in a very powerful path. I feel like this is where it starts. It starts by doing it with this Knight of Cups, whoever this Knight of Cups is. And then I feel like something in this Queen of Cups changes after they've been able to do this and put themselves first. They're less afraid to do it with others. And it sets these boundaries. It sets this tone for anyone they allow within their circle so that they don't get taken advantage of anymore, because they don't put themselves in a situation where that comes about. This is definitely a growing situation for our Queen of Cups, and it does take her to a better place. Whoever this person is, it takes them to balance and even give and take relationships with others. I feel a lot less stress in getting involved with relationships with others. And I'm not talking just about romance. I'm talking about friendships, family members, and I do feel co-workers and bleeding into that piece of things too. And establishing those boundaries, not getting taken advantage of, is a ripple effect throughout their whole life that adds to this person's balance and eases a lot of their stresses. I tell you, every time I look at that Knight of Cups, though, I keep feeling a lot of immaturity. That one's going to have to hit something rough, like a really rough time, before their catalyst for change. I feel like our Queen of Cups is going to have a softer change and transition, because there's somebody who already has a level of stability and responsibility in their life and maturity. This Knight of Cups has like pretty zero maturity. Like, we're real close to zero there. It's going to be a rough road for that one, but that is the path that they are meant to take. That is something that's supposed to happen to them. Like this galactic mushroom, the divine matrix, everything happens for a reason. The jeweled web connectivity. This person needs to experience some very harsh times to be able to learn that lesson for themselves, to be able to do some growing up. If they come back to our Queen of Cups, complaining and crying and kind of whining, this Queen of Cups needs to hold their ground. Hold their ground. Don't allow it in. Don't allow themselves to be manipulated into another cycle of giving and giving and giving to this Knight of Cups so they can just take off and go do it again. Because that's exactly what will happen. That's what's been happening over and over and over again. And if they allow it, it's going to happen another time. It'll keep going and going until this Queen of Cups brings it to a close. And the Tower. This needs to be a tower. This needs to come to an end. And it will bring transformation to both lives. Like I said, this Queen of Cups will be a smoother, I feel like probably a faster transition, because I feel a level of maturity here. This Knight of Cups is not going to get it right away. I can feel that in their energy. They're too much in like self-absorbed and kind of pity party. It's going to take them a long time before they grow up. They have a long journey ahead of them. This Queen of Cups already has a pretty good head start on whoever the Knight of Cups is. This Knight of Cups is, if we're talking romance, they are on two different levels. Like, the Queen of Cups is up here and the Knight of Cups is down here. He's got a long way to go before he can be any kind of a match to our Queen of Cups. A lot of life lessons to learn, a lot of growing up, a lot of maturity to be able to match who our Queen of Cups is, because I can feel this mature energy on the inside. And the Eight of Cups, it's time to walk away from this cycle. It's time to walk away from this relationship with this Knight of Cups, to bring this to a tower, to establish these boundaries, and to put our Queen of Cups, put themselves first and start loving themselves first, respecting themselves, not allow anybody to take advantage. The Sun card. I do see, it's like I said, I could feel into their future that it sort of sets the tone and it changes things. It's like a new beginning for our Queen of Cups. The Eight of Swords. And the Ten of Swords. And like I said, I know it's tough. I didn't have to pull the Eight of Swords to know it's tough. I know there's a deep emotional connection here. I think our Queen of Cups sees who our Knight of Cups could be if they chose to grow up and mature. And I think that's who they have feelings for. They have feelings for someone who doesn't exist, not the one who actually exists. They have feelings for somebody who could possibly exist in the future if this Knight of Cups made certain choices. But that's not who they are right now. And to be able to sever these ties and to look after themselves and put themselves first, it is like a Ten of Swords. It's a disappointing ending, but one that benefits them in the long run. It will bring them to a lot more happiness, a lot more blessings, because I feel like they stress out over this person a lot. They stress out over this person. Even when they show up, when they show back up and they sort of rekindle this, I think it's always on their mind, are they going to leave again? Are they going to grab another karmic? Are they going to go to another karmic? Are they going to leave again? This is not someone you build a family situation with. It is not someone you find stability in, this Knight of Cups. They don't have it yet. They're just not at that place in their life where they can offer it to anyone, because they can't even offer it to themselves. And that's why they need to be left alone to experience these consequences, so that they can figure that piece of things out. They can have an opportunity to ascend. But right now, that's not what's going to happen. So as our Queen of Cups needs to sort of put her heart aside and make a decision with her mind and with the facts, not with her heart, and put herself first. I see that. Put yourself first. This is not going to be a fruitful partnership. Put yourself first. Think about what you want in a loving connection. Think about what a Ten of Cups means to you. It isn't even give and take relationship with someone who you can trust and someone who you can count on. Has this Knight of Cups been that in the past? Or have you been living cycles and cycles of something else? Because that's what they offer. They offer the conflict, they offer the worry, they offer the heartache. They're not somebody who you grow with. This is somebody who needs to be on their own and grow on their own. Yeah, I know we'll be tempted to get pulled back into another cycle, because I know the heart is there. It's tough to sever ties with things like that, but this queen won't be able to heal until this piece of things is truly over and they get some decent distance and they have closure. Just looking forward to the future. This is now past. It gives them the opportunity to really heal their heart, find their clarity, and to start looking forward. Like I said, looking forward to the future. A death is just a rebirth. So this tower, bringing this to a tower, bringing this piece of things to a close and this piece of things to an end, just offers a new beginning. And it's important to look out for yourself, because I feel like this person will try and come back more than once to try and pull our queen back into another cycle. So our queen's going to have to be strong, and our queen is going to have to be focused on the future and get focused on that real Nine of Pentacles energy. Don't be afraid to be single. Don't be afraid to be independent. Don't be afraid to find empowerment in independence. This is where your Nine of Cups lies. Your wish fulfillment is being able to take on this attitude in being happy within your own skin, being happy by yourself, building a life by yourself, and being careful about who you let within your circle, and making sure that these are people who treat you with the respect that you deserve, and people who don't take advantage of you, making sure that it's reciprocal. This is part of our queen's lesson to be learned here. This is what will turn her wheel of fortune for her future, bring her her Ten of Cups, bring her the Sun card, all of those blessings. She's got to take power back into her own hands. No matter what love steps forward, it has to be an even give and take, so that she doesn't fall back into this same cycle, because it can happen with a new person too. This is a lot of her, and depending on her choices and her energy and her outlook and what she's doing, especially with the Hangman here, it says the only thing that can stop you from finding success is yourself. Fears, doubts, insecurities. It's the things that have led her to sort of being a benefactor for this person for so long. It's up to her to break this cycle and to make some positive forward movement. She's absolutely capable of doing it. It's not going to be easy. It's going to hurt her heart, but it will benefit her in the end to be able to put herself first and to not allow this person to take advantage of her, or anybody else in the future to take advantage of her ever again. Alrighty guys, have a great day.